Well, welcome back to GotWire. Today, I have this NVR Instant Kit. It's new from Ubiquiti. It's an all-in-one NVR kit, and it even has a HDMI port on it, so you can plug up a TV and watch your cameras live straight from the device. It's $699 on their website, brand new, and it comes with one 1TB hard drive you can stick in it, and 4 turret ultra cameras. So it comes with everything you need to get set up besides the Ethernet cables to go from the camera to the NVR. So we'll go ahead and get this unboxed and I'll show you guys what comes in the kit. And this is how it's presented to you. You get the 4 cameras in here, 2 on each side, and then you have the NVR in the middle. So this is all what you get in the kit. There's a little bit of extra odds and ends for the camera, like a screw type watertight connector for this to make this watertight. And then you get this template here, and you get this piece of plastic in case you want to mount the actual NVR to the wall. And actually, now that I have it opened here for the back, because this slides onto here, this is where you put your hard drive that they give you. It comes in an anti-static bag, and they give you a Western Digital 1TB hard drive. And the way you install that is the SATA connector is there on the bottom. You get your SATA connector here on the hard drive. You lift up this little door here, stick the hard drive in all the way at the top like that, and then you just simply press it up. Once you get it pressed up, you just take this little door and press it, and there you go, your hard drive's installed. And then this just slides in there, and then you press it to the back. And on the top, it also has a sticker here that I'm peeling back, I guess to help keep this top from getting all scuffed up and scratched up. I'm just gonna leave that piece of paper there, that way I don't get it scratched up. On the back here, you have 6 PoE ports for your cameras, and then the 7th port is for your LAN in. It has a viewport HDMI, and then of course you have your power cable. And then you get a cool little screen here on the front. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these cameras plugged up to here and get it powered on, and I'll show you the web interface of it. When you plug it into your network, it'll get an IP address, so you just have to navigate to whatever IP address it gets. It may show the IP on the screen here, and I think you can also set it up with the UniFi Protect app too if you don't want to figure out what IP it has. Just download the UniFi Protect app and it'll pull up on your phone. And on the front here, it says ready for setup. I believe you can use UniFi Protect or UniFi Network. I think that's the UniFi Network app. And then it gives you the IP address of where the web interface is. So in my case, I'm just gonna go to that IP address and we'll configure it. And as you can see on UniFi's website, it is $699. If you ask me, it's a little bit pricey, but I guess for the cost of the 4 cameras and this individual unit, the NVR unit, and the hard drive, I guess it ain't too much. But I think I ended up spending more on my setup at my house when I first got into Ubiquiti. So if you're just trying to get into Ubiquiti, this would be a good kit to buy. You know, buy once, cry once is what they say. But we'll go to that IP address, 192.168.4.27. And this is the animation you get. Kind of cool. And you can name this here. We'll just name it UNVR YouTube. And then you can sign in to your Ubiquiti account, or you can proceed without a UI account. So if you don't want to use one, you don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and sign into mine. And you can restore this from backup. Like if you have another NVR and you want to try to restore it from a backup, you can. I'm going to hit continue without backing up. It says setup complete. You can now manage your NVR Instant from anywhere. So we'll click on go to dashboard, advanced. Yes, accept the risk. And of course it has to take update, so we'll wait for it to update, and then I'll show you once it gets done updating. And on the front of the NVR, you'll get that Ubiquiti logo and the loading bar, and that way you'll know once it's done. And in this case, it just got done. It has the time, the hard drive status, and how many cameras. Right now it's a 0, but I think that's because right now we have to go in and adopt all the cameras. And this is what you get when you log into it after it takes its update. UniFi Protect application 6.1. It shows you some interesting features about it. You can just hit next, next, next. Got it. And then 4 new devices detected. Add or remind me later. So the first thing we got to do is switch this to dark mode, and then we will click on devices, and then here's all of our cameras that it came with. So we'll go ahead and click to adopt, and we'll get them all adopted here. And we got this pop-up here. It says introducing smart detection. I'm gonna go ahead and enable smart detection. It's pretty cool. It's got a lot of advanced features, and now we just have to wait for them to all adopt. And right now I have them on my main network, but on my production lab I did make a separate VLAN for all my cameras, so they're completely separate from my home network. And if you're doing this, I would highly suggest learning VLANs and setting up a VLAN for your cameras. It's really easy, especially if you have Ubiquiti router. It's really easy to set up VLANs. All right, so on your dashboard, this is what it looks like after all the cameras update. You have your NVR and then your 4 cameras, and then the HDMI port on the back, the way you configure what camera is shown where in the grid. I clicked on UNVR, YouTube, whatever you named your UNVR, and then you can click on new multi-view, and you can change it to however many cameras you want to show up on the screen and their configuration. So since we only have 4, you just take your cameras and drag them wherever you want on the screen. I already made one, so if you click on dashboard, this is what it'll look like on the HDMI port, and as you can see, I got one pointing at me, and down here at the bottom, that's what it looks like when you can make multiple ones and change it if you want. But this is what it should look like if you have a screen plugged up to that HDMI port. You can see all your cameras. So that's pretty cool. And then you have find anything, you have AI detection, there's me, and you can go in here and set different detection settings, like you have people, there's me, a vehicle, and then of course you get your devices, you have playback, you can go to each camera and you can like scrub through the timeline. As you can see, here is where it was updating. You get your settings here, you can do Fahrenheit, Celsius, basic settings for the cameras. And if you go to each camera, you go to the recording settings, when to record always, you can do custom schedule, you can do recording mode, you do continuous or events only. You can have it like record once it detects motion. So you can do a whole lot of cool stuff in here. You can set how many seconds before it detects motion and after it detects motion the record. And then for your storage, you just go to settings, then go to storage, and you have your storage overview here. So far I've saved 10 gigs of data to that hard drive, and what it does is after it reaches a full terabyte, it just overwrites all the old data. So if you wanted to keep more data on hand, you could get a bigger hard drive and put it in there. And to my belief, I don't think there's no storage limit on how big a hard drive you can stick in here, but from what I've heard from other videos, it's about 25 terabyte I think is the biggest that people have heard people putting in here and it working. And you can also install Unify Identity on here if you wanted. And these 2 cameras here just look funky because I got them pointing out my window through the screen. This one here I got it pointed up to the ceiling, and then of course this one here is pointed at me, and it doesn't look too bad, I don't think. They all have pretty good video quality, and they all have night vision too. They'll automatically switch over to night vision when it when the light gets low enough. So all in all, I think this is a really good kit. It's really cool that it has a viewport built in, because if you look up how much an individual viewport costs, it is a ton of money. So I really like the fact that you can hook up an external monitor to it and watch all your cameras. And then like I said, it also works with the Unify Protect app, so you can access these cameras anywhere you're at, and you don't have to mess with no port forwarding because it goes through their servers, I believe. So it makes it really easy to access your cameras from outside your house if you make a UI account, I believe. I'm not sure if it works if you don't make a UI account. And to be full transparent, I bought this with my own funds, so they didn't send this to me. So this is all my own opinions and views, but I definitely will be using this in the future. I do some work on the side for clients, and if a client needs a all-in-one NVR system, I'm definitely going to go with this first. It is really good quality, I believe, compared to the other brands, and it's all stored locally. Your footage is stored locally. You can go in there and have it stored to like Dropbox or any other third-party storage if you were worried about it all being stored on site and like this thing being stolen. I really appreciate you guys watching to the end. If you haven't done it already, I think your like button needs a Cat 5 ran to it. And while you're down there, go ahead and smash that like button, and it really helps me out if you hit that subscribe button. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you did. And at 1,000 subscribers, I think I'm like 100 and something away, I'll be doing a giveaway to give this Trend Networks PoE Pro tester away to one of you guys. Trend Networks sent it to me. I'm really appreciative of them sending that to me, and so I can give it away to one of you guys. I do have a Discord down in the description, so if you want to join my Discord, share your home lab setups, just talk, go ahead and click that link. I also have a Patreon if you want to pay a small fee and get early access to my videos. I also will have some Amazon links to all the Cat 5s that I used and any other networking gear that I've used, my camera equipment I've used. If you click on those Amazon affiliate links, it helps me out. It doesn't cost you guys anymore. I just get a small kickback from it if you guys buy something. But like I said, I really appreciate you guys watching to the end. That's all I have, and I'll see you guys on the next one.